Admiral Zix adjusted the neural interface, connecting her consciousness to the Dominion fleet's tactical network. Through her ship's sensors, she gazed upon the small blue-green world that had somehow managed to resist 3 separate invasion attempts by the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. "Impossible," she muttered in the clicking language of the Keithmori Empire. A single star system with primitive chemical propulsion should have fallen within hours. The holographic display before her showed the graveyard of starships orbiting Earth, remnants of the Valian hegemony's first assault, the crystalline collective's technological superiority, and most recently, the Hive Queen's biological armada. Each force had possessed enough firepower to crack planets, yet each had been utterly destroyed by what appeared to be a backwater civilization that had only recently discovered faster than light communication. Commander Rithka, her second-in-command, materialized beside her through quantum entanglement. "Admiral, our intelligence networks have finally penetrated their global communication systems. What we discovered," his form flickered with uncertainty, "it defies all conventional understanding of warfare." Zix Thara's 4 eyes focused intensely on her subordinate. "Explain." "The humans don't fight as a unified species," Rithka began, his voice carrying notes of bewilderment. "They are divided into hundreds of separate political entities, constantly engaged in conflicts with one another. Yet when we attacked, they somehow coordinated a defense that surpassed anything we've seen from species that have achieved galactic unity for millennia." The Admiral's minds for her species possessed 3 distinct consciousness centers, processed this information simultaneously. "Show me the tactical breakdown of their defensive capabilities." The hologram shifted, displaying Earth's surface. Red indicators marked military installations, while blue showed civilian population centers. What struck Zix Thara immediately was the sheer density of both. "This cannot be accurate," she said. "No pre-galactic civilization maintains this level of military infrastructure while supporting such massive civilian populations." "The data has been verified through 17 independent sources," Rithka replied. "But Admiral, this is only the beginning. Watch this." The display zoomed in on what appeared to be underground facilities scattered across every continent. These aren't just military bunkers. They're entire subterranean cities, connected by transport networks that span their oceans. When the Hive Queen's bioships began atmospheric bombardment, nearly 2 billion humans simply disappeared underground. Zix Thara felt a chill that had nothing to do with the ship's environmental systems and their response capabilities. Every civilian settlement is apparently a potential weapons platform. Their schools contain fabrication facilities that can produce military hardware within hours. Their hospitals double as command centers with quantum computing arrays that rival our own. Even their entertainment venues are equipped with defensive shields and energy weapons. The Admiral's primary consciousness reeled while her secondary minds analyzed the implications. They've militarized their entire civilization without appearing to do so. But how? Such preparation would require centuries of coordinated effort. "That's what we thought," Rithka said grimly. "Until we discovered the truth about their history." The hologram shifted again, showing a timeline of human development. What Zix Thara saw defied everything the Galactic Councils believed about species evolution. "They've been in a state of near-constant warfare for their entire recorded history," Rithka explained. "Not just territorial disputes, but conflicts involving technologies and strategies that forced continuous innovation. They fought wars with chemical weapons, biological agents, nuclear devices, information warfare, and even primitive AI systems, all before achieving space travel." Zix Thara's tertiary mind, responsible for strategic analysis, began generating probability matrices. The results were terrifying. "They're not a newly spacefaring species," she realized. "They're a military civilization that happens to be confined to a single planet. Precisely. And Admiral, there's more. Their cultural archives reveal that their greatest technological advances have always emerged during periods of conflict. War doesn't slow their development, it accelerates it. The implications crash through all three of Zix-Thara's consciousness centers simultaneously. Every galactic civilization that had achieved interstellar capability had done so by achieving peace and unity. The Keth Morai had required 2,000 years of planetary harmony before developing quantum drives. The Valians had spent millennia in philosophical contemplation before unlocking faster-than-light travel. But humans had reached the threshold of galactic civilization while still fighting amongst themselves. They had developed technologies powerful enough to defend against star-spanning empires while maintaining the aggressive innovation cycle that only warfare could sustain. Admiral, Rithka's voice carried urgent undertones. There's something else. Our monitoring stations have detected massive energy buildups across their solar system. They're not just defending anymore. The holographic display expanded to show the entire Sol system. Energy signatures blazed from previously undetected installations on Mars, the Moon, and several asteroid settlements. Space-based platforms that had been invisible to their sensors suddenly appeared, powered by technologies the galactic councils had deemed impossible for pre-spacefaring species. They've been hiding their true capabilities, Zix-Thara whispered. Everything we've seen, the chemical rockets, the primitive radio communications, the divided political structure, it was all camouflage. The energy buildups are targeting our fleet positions, Rithka reported. Admiral, I believe we're about to discover exactly how powerful Earth really is. As if summoned by his words, space around the Dominion fleet began to shimmer, not with the familiar patterns of known energy weapons, but with something entirely new. Reality itself seemed to bend and twist as human ships materialized from what appeared to be folded space-time. Admiral Zix-Thara realized, in the moments before her flagship's destruction, that the galaxy's greatest mistake hadn't been underestimating Earth's technology or unity. They had underestimated humanity's understanding of war itself. The last thing recorded by the Dominion fleet's quantum archives was a simple message broadcast on all frequencies: "Welcome to Earth. We've been expecting you."